Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello, my dear students. How are you? I hope that you're doing well and I hope that everything is okay. Today we are going to do the third lesson of Unit 2. Actually, I hope that you're ready for our class today. Open your books, please, page 16. Okay, today our lesson is about driving. Okay, if you look here on page 16, we have, a schedule. It talks about aggressive drivers. And we want here, as you see in the first question or in the first exercise, mark the things that characterize an aggressive driver. Aggressive means careless drivers or people, who try to make other drivers feel angry. Those are the aggressive drivers. I hope that you're not one of them. Okay, and after we do here, the first one, we want to mark the things that you should or must do when you encounter them, when you deal with them. Okay, and after that, compare and discuss your answers with a partner, with your teacher during the class. So let's start by, checking the points or the sentences which talk about aggressive drivers. Okay, aggressive drivers drive dangerously and recklessly. Do you think? Of course. Yes, right? Okay, go through stop signs and red lights. They don't stop at stop signs and they cut the red lights. Yeah, of course. Are courteous to other drivers. They are kind to other drivers. Courteous means kind. Very kind to other motorists or other drivers. Actually, no. They tailgate. You know what's tailgate? Is to drive very near to the car which is driving in front of you. When you drive, you should leave an enough space between you and the other driver who's driving in front of you. Why? Because suddenly at any time he can stop the car, so you need time to stop your car. So if you tailgate, it means that you can have an accident at any time. So do you tailgate or drive very closely behind the other car in front of you? So actually, aggressive drivers tailgate. They drive closely behind the car in front. Yes. Blow their horns and flash their lights. Yes. They let others pass them. They let others pass them. No, actually. So what should you do when you encounter them? Get out, get out of the way. Yes, of course, you should get out of the way. Challenge them to show you aren't scared? Of course not, because actually they are reckless and they are aggressive, as we said at the beginning. Okay, ignore them, and their gestures. Ignore them and their gestures. Yes, of course. Avoid eye contact. Okay, yes. Blow your horn. No. Report them to the authorities. Of course. So let's check the answers. Thank you. Our answers are correct. Okay, now let's move here. Listen, Brandon is having a driving lesson. Mark the things he does right and wrong. So if he did one of these right, we will check this box. If he did one of these wrong, we will check the other box. Listen carefully.
Very well, Brandon. Please start the engine. Now, I'd like you to drive carefully along this road until we come to the traffic light.
Should I turn left or right at the light?
I'll tell you when we get there. Brandon, you must hold the steering wheel with both hands.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you know how fast you're going?
I don't know. I can't take my eyes off the road.
Well, you're doing 40 and the speed limit downtown is 25. You must slow down. Look out!
Oops, I'm sorry.
You almost hit that car. Please stop there on the right. Very good, Brandon. Now, I want you to park properly. Slowly, Brandon.
That was good, wasn't it?
Phew! Parking was the best thing you did, in more ways than one.
Okay, did he start the car very well? Okay, how was his, did he start the car in a right way or in a wrong way? So he started the car in a right way. Thank you. Did he hold the steering wheel? Actually, it's wrong. Did he obey the speed limit? If you remember, he was driving 40 and the speed limit was 25. So it's wrong. And the best thing he did is, is the parking. He parked the car very well. So, right, let's check the answers. Yes, our answers are correct. Now, let's listen to these sentences and how can we and see how can we pronounce them very well.
You should obey the driving laws. You shouldn't pass on the right. You must be 18 to get a license. You mustn't go over the speed limit.
I hope that you can read them very well. You should obey the driving laws. You shouldn't pass the light. You must be 18 to get a license. You mustn't go over the speed limit. Okay. Now, now look here. What do you think the picture is talking about? You know, this is the man and this is his son. What I understand from the picture is that the son is driving in a very reckless way, is a very dangerous way, and his father is a little angry. Look, he is angry. So look at his hand. Maybe he is telling his son to drive slowly. Let's listen to the conversation between father and George. Listen to the conversation and be careful of these expressions. You can't be serious. Hey, I'm doing 60. We want to know the meaning of these expressions. And actually, the meaning is here in the box. But see, how do we use them in the conversation?
George, I want you to drive slowly and carefully and put on your seatbelt. We have plenty of time.
What time is your flight, Dad?
At 6 p.m.
That's in 3 hours. You have 2 extra hours. The trip to the airport is less than an hour.
You should always arrive at least 2 hours before departure. We might run into traffic at this time of day. Why are we taking this road?
Because it's quicker.
You can't be serious. You should use the highway. It's faster because it's more direct. Turn right at the next traffic light. Hey, don't go so fast. Slow down.
Dad, the speed limit here is 70 kilometers per hour, and I'm doing 60.
Be careful. You almost hit that car. You have to watch out for traffic.
As you see in the conversation, actually, the father is not satisfied about the driver of his son. Okay, so here the word plenty means a lot of time, actually. I want you to drive slowly and carefully and put on your seatbelt. This is at the beginning. Before you start driving, you should put on your seatbelt. We have plenty of time. Okay, as you see, the father gives his son some directions, some instructions that he should follow while driving. And he used some expressions like "you can't be serious." We use this expression, when you are surprised. Yeah, you can't be serious. And "hey," we use "hey" to attract someone's attention. I'm doing 60 means I'm driving 60 kilometers per hour. Okay? But look at the end of the conversation. Be careful. You almost hit that car. You have to watch out for traffic. What do you think happened after this conversation? Or what do you think what happened after the father said this to his son George? What do you think? Did he tell him to did he tell him what to or what was the response of his son George? Okay, let's listen to three responses and guess what George responded to his father. What did he say? If you don't expect one of these, you can add your own idea, okay? Let's see.
Your ending. What do you think George's response is?
1. Okay, Dad. You know the first rule of safety. Don't talk to the driver. 2. Okay, Dad. You drive. 3. Dad, why don't you get a cab?
You know, actually, you see which of these responses can be appropriate, or you can add your own idea. Okay, for example, you can say that George says to his father that I'll be careful, I'll drive slowly, for example. Okay, now let's answer the questions about the conversation. How does the father want George to drive? Do you remember? He wants him to drive how? Slowly and carefully, right? So he wants George to drive slowly and carefully. What should what should George do before he starts the car? He should put on his seatbelt. Do you remember? He should put on his seatbelt, right? Okay. What does the father say about the time to arrive at the airport? He said that you should, arrive to the airport early, 2 hours before the departure, because you might get stuck in traffic, right? Do you remember? So he says that you should always arrive at the airport 2 hours before the departure, because you might get stuck in traffic. You right? And I always, like to arrive early at any place because during the way you don't know what's gonna happen, right? What must George watch out for? Do you remember? Yeah, he must watch out for traffic. By the way, watch out means to be careful of traffic because there are a lot of cars driving around you. Okay, my dear students, I hope that you enjoyed our lesson today. This is the end of lesson 3. Thank you for your watching. Goodbye and see you later.